And so the median for next year is between 2 and 3 cuts of 25 basis points. So the estimate is that by the end of next year, we'll be at like 4.5 to 4.75, something like that. And so the question is, why? So the backdrop is why. And for me, I think, how I think about it, so my outlook, I put in 2 cuts for next year. I'm projecting them to be in the second half of the year, because I think inflation is going to continue to come down, but it's going to come down slowly, right? Now, if we're going to be at 2%, right, and we are restrictive, if we wait till we're at 2% and we're at that restricted level, we're going to overshoot. Right, so at some point, you got to start to moderate that down so that the pressure on the downward pressure on inflation slows and eases, and hopefully you coast into the 2%. Right, so that's the strategy, and you know, I've not had conversations with any of my colleagues about what the decision rule is going to be for them to want to start that reduction. I know for me, I'm thinking inflation is going to come down relatively slowly in the next 6 months, which means that there's not going to be urgency for us to start to pull off of our restrictive stance. If that's wrong, then I'll have to modify that view, right? Just because I said something doesn't mean I can never change it or I'm stuck on that forever. But today, with my expectation, that's what I'm hoping for. One last coda on this, which is inflation over the last 6 months has come down much faster than I expected. So when I did my dot plot in June of last year, I had the end of year inflation 50 basis points higher than it is today, half a percentage point higher than it is today. All right, and so my expectation of where policy was going to be at the end of next year was only 1 cut lower. Right, because it's come down faster, I've pulled forward the notion of when we got to start easing off. Right, so anyway, the point being, we're going to let experience guide us, but the idea is we can't wait till we're at 2% to start moving our policy back down into a more neutral stance, or else we will cause more damage in labor markets than we might cause otherwise.